Hi everyone, Vickie here, Rock and Roll Prophetess. I'm late getting this chart up, so and it's already tomorrow morning from where I'm recording it, so I don't know how long we're gonna go on it, but I wanted to post something. When I saw the new moon, I wanted to say creating abundance with Taurus, and because that's what it is. It's the second house. It's Venus. It's ruled by Venus. And it is about creating abundance. That's what the second house is all about, our personal possessions. You know, I always plant my garden. If you're in the northern hemisphere, I always plant my garden on the new Taurus new moon. Try to, you know. It seems like even if there's still frost warnings or blah, 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 planting on that Taurus new moon is going to be hardy plants. They'll make it through. It gives them strength and strong, you know, foundation. And that can be applied to just life, you know, planting seeds, even if you're not planting them in a garden. You know, planting seeds during this time is, you know, they'll be strong, they'll be durable. Although I think Mercury's still retrograde, right? Yeah, Mercury doesn't go direct for a couple more days, but or maybe another week or so. But still, you can plant the seeds without Mercury taking action. You can start writing down plans and ideas. You can start gathering information, getting things ready, getting things ready to plant, getting ready to plant your seeds, planting them, and then when Mercury goes direct, they come out into the world. You know, they could break ground and move out by the time Mercury's out of the shadow, for sure. You know, within a few weeks. So, it's an important new moon. You know, all this, it's ruled by Venus, so we cannot not look at Venus, but, you know, Venus is still there at that 29. That's why I've just been kind of off in la-la land lately. That's why it's been really hard to get my forecast done and that. And like yesterday, I was, yeah, I'm going to get up and do the new moon forecast, and it was so beautiful and nice out. And I just was like, well, go outside and be in nature or stay in and look at a computer screen. So I opted for the nature, you know, and that's the Taurus energy too. But I've been, you know, with this Venus energy, yeah, a lot of healing, a lot of upheaval, a lot of downloads. Last few days, I've been getting downloads like mad. You know, I've got notes about everything, and none of it I don't think would really pertain to this, but it's pertaining to me personally. And I'm having these big awarenesses of how my wounds have blocked me, and how did I get to this point where I'm at right now. Any kind of I'm having like a veil being lifted. Anything that I've seen as an obstacle or frustration in my life, or this energy is really coming in and like washing it clear. And I'm getting a really clear channel. I think it's clearing away all the clutter in my psycho-spiritual you know, channel. And I've been really creative too. I've just been on a really really submerged in this Piscean, this Neptune energy, because of course Pisces, Neptune, all the same thing. Neptune's there too, but this 29 with the Chiron, I mean, I really feeling that. I'm really in it. You know, I'm so looking forward. Well, it's probably, I don't know if even the moon is in Taurus by now. What's the degree of it? Oh, 6. No, probably not going in for a couple hours. But I got the feeling like I'm kind of feeling this Taurus new moon coming in, because I'm starting to feel like I'm a little grounded, or I've kind of got my head together enough to sit down and do something really practical. You know, and I was doing art and a bunch of creative stuff, and it was just like, ugh. I just couldn't bring myself to come in here and sit in front of this computer. I just could not do it. So sorry about that, but I had to do it. I had needed my thing, and that, you know, that's Taurus too, can be a little self-indulgent. I don't know that that was self-indulgent in my case. I feel like it was very healing, but you know, the downside of Taurus can be self-indulgent. It can be over. Tauruses are sometimes viewed as kind of lazy. Tauruses don't get feathers ruffled very easily. Tauruses are very centered, very grounded. They are creative, often with more music. Often Venus, the ruler of Taurus, also rules Libra, where Jupiter is. I feel like most of the time when Venus expresses through the Taurus energy, it expresses through music more than any other form of creativity. And I feel through Libra, it's more visual art, decorating, making things look pretty and beautiful, you know. because Venus rules both of these, rules Taurus and Libra. But anyways, I didn't even really look at this thing. Is it doing anything? No, it doesn't seem to be doing anything with any other planet. But let's check what's making it doing a thing with Mars here. Mars is moving into Gemini too, so that kind of backs up my original thought here of, you know, let's get clear. Let's go through the papers. Let's get everything organized. What do I have to do to plant these seeds? Am I going to have to get a URL? Am I going to have to sign up for a YouTube channel, or you know, a Facebook business account, or a bank business account, or PayPal business account? You know, not necessarily doing it, but like getting it all organized, getting all this paperwork and mental stuff together here, you know, and working on that, working on prepping, doing the prep work so that it can be revealed. There's 28s and 29s everywhere here. We got Ceres at 28 Taurus. That is that losing your head thing. And people who are born with 28, 29 Taurus, in the old days, would often be decapitated. I've brought this up before. This is a well-known, like, little astrology thing, but if you haven't seen this before. And then there was an actress who had, it's a famous example, actress in the, I don't know, maybe the 50s or something, and she was in a car accident and was decapitated, and they always use that as the example. So, you know, there's less, not opportunity, there's less danger of getting decapitated in the modern day compared to the olden days when people were decapitated all the time, and swords and guillotines and everything else, hanging even. But how the modern day interpretation goes is like, don't lose your head, don't go overboard, don't lose your head when stuff hits that 28, 29 thing there, that degree. What was I looking at? Was it Vesta or Ceres? And it really ties into a lot of, I think it was Vesta, and it ties into a lot of motherhood, also at 28 degrees. You know, these 28, 29 degrees, Saturn at 27 degrees, Venus at 29, Chiron at 27, Mercury at 26, Uranus at 25. So there's all these high degrees. So things are culminating, even though it's a new moon, and the outer planet, it's a finishing of a big cycle, especially with Saturn involved, you know, and Chiron's. These are big cycles. Uranus, these are big, long cycles. You know, the Saturn one alone is a 28-year cycle, what, 3 years in a sign. So these are things that, you know, there is a lot of realization, hopefully. Because here's the thing, if you don't get off the train here, it's like you're going to miss your stop. It's almost like, that's what they're showing me a visual of, you know, like 29 is the train's pulling into the station, right? And then, you know, if you want to go to the 0, you want to take a new path, you want to catch your hookup, you want to catch your other train going on your new timeline, you know, you want to jump on that new timeline. You finished doing this stuff over and over again, you want to jump on that new timeline. Well, you better start getting your baggage cleared up and, you know, getting ready to make that jump. Because if you don't, then you're going to have to wait for the train to come all the way around through the whole thing again. In some cases, that's 28 years or something. So, and Chiron's 50 years. I mean, these are some big, long cycles that are culminating and coming to an end. And I think that's why there's this sense of urgency, too, of people... why there is such polarization. God, I hate to see what it would be like if Jupiter wasn't in Libra, right? Because Jupiter is trying to help that with the polarization, trying to pull people together and compromise and all that. But she's got a lot on her plate there, Jupiter, because people want to make sure that this next chapter is the new paradigm, the next chapter, you know, the next cycle. Is how they want to do it. And with Saturn too, it's putting down foundation. Saturn, when we have your Saturn return, it's putting down a foundation. Taurus is putting down a foundation. So people want these foundations once and for all. Once and for all, it's got to be like this. And other people are like, no, once and for all, you know, enough. That's got to die. It's enough. Because 29s, and these are dies, you know, endings. Things are dying off. So people are adamant, and people are impassioned, and people are up in arms, and there is some polarization. And it's because everybody wants to cement feels this cycles are coming to an end and a new cycle begins. And as the new cycle begins, they want their seed to be the seed that grows, the tree that blooms from, from their seed, their ideals. And Taurus, right off the bat, right? What's Taurus? Stubborn. Stubborn as a bull, or as a mule, but it's stubborn. Tauruses are known for being stubborn. So you can fall into that lane of, being real. And Taurus, straight ahead, they are very focused, and they have their blinders on, and they want what they want, and they won't budge. So that's the downside of it. I feel like I just want to say, if you want to go on this new path, you don't have to take the whole world with you. It's that 100th monkey, it's the whole thing, or it's you just maybe going on a different timeline, whatever the case may be. But it's, you got to go within, you got to do it from within, you got to, you take your path. And it could be you can just take it to a real down-to-earth practical level. Maybe some people won't come along just on a real practical level. You decide to change your path and go in a different direction. A lot of people aren't up for that. They want to go, and this isn't talking about world politics. This is just talking about belief systems and ways of living your life, and where you want to go on the path you want to go. The train station the train you want to make the connection with, to go in this, make the hookup. And some people are perfectly happy riding on this same train, riding around this same route, day after day, week after week, month after year, after eon, after forever, So you can't, trying to convince somebody else. I know in politics it's frustrating because it is making policies for large amounts of people. But I really feel like this is just kind of, doing it for yourself. Taurus plants the flag. Taurus, the fixed signs. Taurus, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, yeah, but then the second, Taurus is there to plant the flag, to build the building, to construct the foundation. Saturn leaving, a sign, it's a foundation. It's a completion of a cycle, a foundation. And Saturn leaving the sign, well, it's not today or anything, but we're coming to the end of the close of and the galactic center thing too, at the downloads, which I talked about at length, but leaving the sign of Sagittarius, finishing up the cycle of the Sagittarius energy. Well, what is Sagittarius all about? Spiritual beliefs, higher learning. When you know better, you do better. Embracing foreign things, embracing things that are different than you, trying something different, trying something new, being open to listening and learning new things, not being closed and fixed. So these are big cycles, big cycles. Oh, this with the Cancer and Vesta. Isn't it Vesta was one of these, either Ceres or Vesta? I think is it Vesta who was the mother of Persephone? But it was about, I was reading up something about it, come upon an article about one of them. Well, they're both at 28, 29 degrees, so it's going to apply to whoever. If somebody knows, put it in the comment. But the point was, she couldn't have things her way. She wanted her daughter with her all the time. She wanted, but then she had to compromise with Libra. She had to let her go half the year, away. And there's this mother thing here, and it's with the trining the Chiron. It's this wounded mother, and this child, whatever the case may be. If you actually lost a child, if you lost your own inner childhood because of some damage that was done to you, if your kids are just growing up and leaving and don't have time for you anymore, or whatever, or they're losing their innocence, they're becoming mouthy teenagers from what happened to my sweet little lammy pie, what happened here? They turn into a snarling beast and in the teenage years, there's something about that there too. But also I was looking at this with Juno coming up to Pluto. It's conjunct. I mean, it's a couple degrees out, but it's conjunct. Because Pluto is like breathing fire, Pluto is like, he's the god of the underworld, and they're opposed to each other. So I think that's why I was tying Vesta. Maybe it is serious. I'm not sure, but they're opposing each other. It's a wide orb, but there's this contradictory energy of, okay, so here's this flaming tyrant, this Pluto, god of the underworld. I'm going to burn your city to the ground if you don't like what I say. And then there's this wounded mother. Oh, no, no, you know, I'm wounded. I'm the victim. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then here comes Juno. And she's an empowered woman, and so is Lilith too. The feminine energy, you know, and Venus is a feminine energy too, and ruler of the new moon. But so then there's these other feminine icons, or feminine. I always want to say icons. I don't know why. That's another one of these words I just can't get in my. But we'll call it icons. But anyways, Juno. Juno uses her feminine wiles. It's still old paradigm though, but she knows how to work and get what she wants, and she works it through her allure. You know, she's got Pluto wrapped around her little finger. Figuratively, I don't know if this backs up in the mythology, okay? But that's the energy of this. This is the type of feminine energy that can wrap a man around her finger. You know, it's like Jessica Rabbit in, you know, that movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You know, Juno's like Jessica Rabbit. She could make a man do whatever she wants, but she does it, you know, through her feminine wiles and not exerting this power outwardly necessarily, you know, dealing with the power that be, and kind of manipulating it from, but still getting what you want. And still, she has his ear, you know. Again, it's figuratively, don't freak out if the mythology is not quite right. I'm just using this as an example. And then there's Lilith. It's like, you know what? I'm not kissing his ass or anybody else's ass. You know, I have just, you know, she's just outwardly, bam, you know. So there's all these different expressions of the feminine energy, and then Venus at 29, Pisces, this is the mystic. You know, this is the mystic, spiritual person who's very much inward and peaceful and creates their own reality and is like a hermit. So there's all these different expressions of this feminine energy going on. And, you know, Saturn is definitely a male energy, but it just seems to me like it's coming up against this Pluto and the Pluto-Uranus square. And now Uranus, I would say, is not necessarily male or female, completely not. You know, it's you know, not gender specific whatsoever. Uranus is beyond that. You know, Uranus doesn't get hung up on any kind of labels of anything, sexuality, religion, anything. But it's in the sign of Aries. So that's that Mars, that's that male energy again, this male warrior and this Pluto. So this is widening. This Pluto-Uranus square is widening. And even, well, it's still got Jupiter in there, but another feminine in the sign of Venus, right? I know Jupiter's not male, but this expression of Venus, you know, and the new moon's in Venus. There's all this expression of Venus and the feminine energy. But anyways, this is widening, and this female energy is like creeping in. It's like, especially with this Pisces, it's like she's just coming out of her cave. Like they're softer. It's a softer expression for the most part, other than Lilith. And emerging. You know, they're emerging out from all the four corners of the earth, all the four elements, all the four, well, it's not the four elements, it's water, earth, and fire. We're missing air. Well, the air in Libra maybe a little bit. You know, it's just like they're coming from everywhere and they're emerging out. Like these two were in a stronghold and they were, you know, there was all this energy, and now this is just creeping in, seeping in, you know, and they're coming out, and hopefully they're not going to all start a big cat fight in the middle here. You know, turn into a jello wrestling or mud wrestling, hair pulling thing, right? Hopefully that's not how it's going to go down. Hopefully, you know, I'm just kidding, but I mean, like, it's going to be, in its most powerful and its most positive expression, it would be just this soft emergence, and this toning down, gentle, loving, softness, you know, feminine, but still so powerful. Mother Earth energy, you know, our planet is a feminine planet. So, you know, just that kind of ground, and with Taurus, you know, the grounding in the earth, you know, that's what I feel about this, the emergence. I was going to call it something about prosperity, but I think I want to call it the emergence of the feminine. Let me write that down. So yeah, pretty much that's the chart. That's what I'm getting out of it now that I've sat with it. Emergence of the Feminine. Yeah, I'm going to write that down and put that as the title. This is so planned out. But I like to just wing it. Somebody last time made a comment about a great transmission, and that's kind of what it is. It kind of really is, because I kind of look at, I start out with a little bit of astrology, but then it turns into a psychic reading real quick. Yeah, so pretty soon these nodes are going to change. A lot of exciting things are happening here. The nodes are going to be in the 29s this month in May. So a lot of exciting things happening. All right, we only have one day till the thing. I'm sorry, it just got away from me. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I just couldn't do it. But we did it. Here it is. Hope everyone has a great new moon in Taurus. Plant your seeds and watch for the emergence of the feminine in the coming weeks. Remember, your love and beauty incarnate. Check out my site, VickieReally.com, if you want to find out anything about me. Getting readings and charts and all sorts of stuff is on there. Have a great new moon, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.